as you keep that rhythm going. There's so many benefits to consciously breathing, taking conscious deep breaths. Not only it improves your respiratory system, calms your nervous system, and it also has a lot of cognitive benefits too and helps you focus more clearly. Now that felt quite easy, right, to breathe, would you say? Yeah? Quite an easy thing to do. We do it day to day. We kind of need it to survive. Can you imagine what it would feel like if suddenly, out of nowhere, you couldn't breathe properly? Well, that's exactly what happened to me one day. I remember what it was like it was yesterday. I was having what I thought was a peaceful sleep, but I was suddenly woken up by a sort of pins and needles sensation just trickling through my body. My heart rate was pounding against my chest. It was rapidly racing, and I couldn't breathe properly. I remember not really knowing what was happening, but one thought went through my mind. I'm 28 years old, and I'm having a heart attack. Now, at that point, I was going through a transition in my business. I'd gone from running a local business to launching an international events company. As you do, very typical entrepreneurial spark, but there you go. And we'd gone through so much change. I'd gone from a one-woman band to managing a team of people. We had people flying over from all over the world to attend our festivals, working with international artists and academics, more sponsors, partners, suppliers, you name it. On the outside, we looked really successful. But on the inside, this was me struggling. What I was actually going through was a panic attack. Also likened to the same sensory experience of having a heart attack or an asthma attack. And if you're not aware of the signs and symptoms of panic attacks, it can easily be mistaken for a heart attack or an asthma attack. So the kind of symptoms I'm talking about here, feeling a tightness in your stomach, feeling quite sick and nauseous, feeling hot and cold, sweating, shaking, feeling your heart pound, difficulty breathing, a kind of sense of doom and gloom, really. You're not sure what's going on. So this was quite a big impact in my life. And the first time I had that lasted about 5 minutes. And the second time I had it a week later, lasted about an hour, on and off. There's no rhyme or reason. And it can come and go. And it can vary in intensity and frequency as well. So this was really when I first learnt to take stock of my well-being as an entrepreneur. I've run a business since 2010, gone through massive transitions, 2 in that time. And I've learnt so much, overcome a lot of different challenges. But what I learnt after that was look after yourself as an entrepreneur. It will help you to thrive, not just in business, but in your life. You know, I learnt about well-being, about mindfulness, about breathing properly, about meditation, all these things that are so important to nurture. I took NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, and I'm now a coach because it was so powerful for me. And I had an amazing support network at home. For me, maintaining this on a longer term basis meant that I went from having regular panic attacks on and off for about a year in the background, typical stigma story of not feeling like I should show that I'm struggling, to now having not had a panic attack at all since 2015. Now, if that doesn't show the strength and the power of the mind, I don't know what is. So for me, it's so important to raise awareness of this. It's like exercising a mental muscle when you think about it, just like with your physical strength. Exercising your physical muscles to feel stronger, feel better in yourself. It's like strengthening a mental muscle when it comes to the way you want to change the way you think. So I've known a lot of entrepreneurs in that time, since then, who are struggling with depression, panic attacks, PTSD, but aren't talking about it. From my experience, there are far too many entrepreneurs who are silent about how they're really doing in business. Currently, there's just under 6 million small businesses in the UK, and of those businesses, over 60% of entrepreneurs are struggling with stress and burnout. Now, with mental health issues, this is costing organisations in the UK over 30 billion every year, more than for any other illness. And this could be putting over 3 million entrepreneurs' businesses at risk. So isn't now the time to maybe do things differently? My big takeaways for you tonight are nurture your well-being on a daily basis. If you're not functioning at your best as a business owner, that will have an impact on the output of your work. really grow and nurture a good support system. People will be there for you. It's not supposed to be a lonely experience when you're an entrepreneur. You're not supposed to do everything all yourself. And finally, give yourself permission to be authentically you. Give yourself time to step back from your business every now and then, because those moments of reflection are really when you can get your biggest inspiration and ideas. And don't forget to breathe. That's where you can often find your true answers within you. Thank you.
Thank you, Tania, and I think it's so important. We're the best resource in our business, aren't we? And for the UK as well,
Yeah.
UK PLC. So I'll hand you over to the judge or the judges.
Well, Maria had to go because there's a horrific strike.
So is Annick
And,
standing into Maria's?
I don't know if she qualified. No, she won't, of course, if she wants to jump in. So Maria sends her apologies. Basically, anyone that came from the Woking, Guildford space, it took about 3 hours to get into London. I came from that space too. And she's like, look, I don't know what it's going to be like, so I had to leave. So she sent apologies, connect with her. We'll send her group out so you can connect with her as well. So you'll start. I can be both, Maria and Elliot. With
Go for
alpha male and nicely feminine.
I'm looking forward to this.
So, great. You know, I can see you speak about this topic a lot. The key thing and your stretch is really enrolling us into what you're talking about. It's clear that you know what you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
And remember, when an audience listening to you talk, there's 3 key questions that go through their mind. What's in it for me? Why should I care? Can I trust you? Right? Remember that. What's in it for me? Why should I care? Can I trust you? Right? So the fact that this is a very supportive room is great. That to straight away ask people to come on a breath with you.
Mm-hmm.
You almost need to gain permission. Like, hi guys. Da, da, da.
Okay.
Look, let's go on a little journey. Work with me here. Everyone, take a breath in.
Sure.
Da, da, right? And so you're building that trust. And I think because you're naturally very charming and very likable when you get on stage, that's brilliant. However, people are still going, what's in it for me? What's in it for me? And so we had a lot of your story.
Mm-hmm.
It took a while for us to get what's in it for us.
Sure. Yeah.
So if you volunteered up front, look guys, I'm going to cover 3 key things or 3 key takeaways and listen out for them. You don't have to give them away straight away.
Yeah.
That's for me the next thing. The other thing, again, very similar to Sophie, is I'd love to see more. So you have that's a very auditory voice. Can you see the difference between Sophie, who's very up here, and then there's you, who's very auditory. She's very kind of calm and rhythmical, which is lovely. I'd like to see more up and down,
Sure.
right? Which is the next stretch for you. But overall, I love to see where this talk goes. But that is your stretch.
Okay.
Nick, do you wanna jump in?
I just add on a little bit. You had a lot of, first of all, Tania used to be a dancer. So you can see the way how she gracefully moved on stage. Let's make more out of that. NLP already, let's work stage anchoring a bit more in there, because you had some really good opportunities to anchor certain things on stage. Because this is you. I couldn't do it. I would be the idiot, where do I go now? But it's really your style, I feel. And every now and then bring us in a bit more. If you say things like, I have done this in the past, to phrase it back and make it more about the audience, you can say things like, have you ever had a moment where?
Yeah.
And then we're with you again and we're thinking, and it's not you talking as such,
Sure.
But
Yeah.
otherwise, overall, who's he smiling at? It's I'm just
Smiling.
clearly not at me. But overall, it's the grace, that will really, really, really help you to, catapult yourself on bigger stages. I can really see that.
Great. Thank you.